Okay, we're looking now into the partial fraction decomposition of this rational expression. So our first question that we always ask is it a proper fraction? You can see that the degree of the numerator is equal to 3. Again, it's the highest exponent that we've got. And the degree of the denominator is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. So because the degree of the numerator is smaller, it is in fact proper. Check. So now we want to move on through our steps. We're going to factor our denominator. However, it really is already factored. We have x squared plus 2 quantity squared. What I might write out is the decomposition that we're going to use. So remember, whenever you have this multiplicity, we're going to have x squared plus 2, that's one group. And then we're going to have x squared plus 2 squared. Remember, we kind of layer it like that. So now we want to set up our decomposition. And that's going to look like we have 8x cubed plus 13x divided by x squared plus 2 squared. And we're going to rewrite that into the two fractions, right? One denominator value and a second denominator value, so plus. There's our other one. So the first one, we're going to have x squared plus 2. Now remember, because the denominator is degree 2, we go up a degree in the numerator. So we have ax plus b. We're going to see pretty much the same idea in the second one. So this is going to be x squared plus 2 squared. And the numerator value is going to be cx plus d. So now what we want to do is we want to multiply by the least common denominator. So we're going to multiply, we've got 8x cubed plus 13x over x squared plus 2 squared. We've got ax plus b over x squared plus 2. Leave some space for that multiplication. Cx plus d over x squared plus 2 squared. So our least common denominator in this case is, it's just the same denominator we've been working with, right? X squared plus 2 squared. So times x squared plus 2 squared, fully cancel. X squared plus 2 squared, one of those cancels. X squared plus 2 squared fully cancels. Okay, so what are we actually left with? Well, we get, I guess this is step 4, right? Simplify. So we've got 8x cubed plus 13x, and then we've got ax plus b times the remaining x squared plus 2 plus cx plus d. I don't absolutely need parentheses around the last group, but you see what it does. Okay, so in this simplification process, one thing we need to do is simplify this product right here. So 8x cubed plus 13x is going to be ax cubed plus 2ax plus bx squared plus 2b. And then we have this cx and this d that follow. So just like in the past, what I want to do is kind of collect everything or sort everything according to the variables that we've got, ideally in descending order, because that's how it looks on this left-hand side. So I'm going to keep my 8x cubed plus 13x. And if I organize them in descending order, we have ax cubed plus bx squared plus 2a plus c x, right? Both of those have an x in them, plus, I'm going to group them 2b plus d. Okay, and so now we want to create this system of equations using what we've got, right? By comparing, we're going to use that fact that we've been working with. I'm okay if you just say fact next to it because it's kind of what we've been referencing in this class. But it is a good idea to know exactly what it says, right? So it says that the two polynomials, meaning the one on the left and the one on the right, are equal to each other if and only if their coefficients are equal to each other. of the like terms. Okay, so cite that you use this fact, even if you don't write out all of the words, although it doesn't hurt you as a student to write it out. It'll help you remember it better. So if we line these up, we've got 8 and A. Let me write A first. That's what we've been doing. So A is equal to 8, which is wonderful because we're already done with one of them. You'll notice we do not have a squared term. So we would set up just B, but there's nothing over here. So if you want, you can think of it like plus 0x squared if you want. But that actually means that B is equal to 0. Another term done. And then we've got C. So, we've got X. So 2A plus C is equal to 13. So 2A plus C is 13. And we've got 2B plus D. 2B plus D equal to, again, you can think of this as plus the constant 0. And I would say write that out if you need to. So if you kind of expanded, you'd have 8x cubed plus 0x squared plus 13x plus 0. If that helps, if not, you don't have to fill in those pieces. But that's 2B plus D is equal to 0. And altogether, those make up your system of equations that you're looking at. So your job is to now solve for them, okay? So again, we have A and we have B done. So if we were to take this third question, or third one, the orange one, and plug 8 in, that's 2 times 8 plus C is 13. So that's 16 plus C is 13. We'll move the 16 over, and we get C is equal to -3. Well, there's another solution for us, right? And then similarly here, if we plug in B is equal to 0, you've got 2 times 0 plus D is also equal to 0. So that actually gives you D is 0. So we've got all 4 of our values. A is 8, B is 0, C is -3, and D is 0. So A is 8, B is 0, C is -3, and D is 0. So what I'm going to do, we did this in the last couple of kind of setups as we practiced this. This is the decomposition that we're looking at, or the partial fractions result that we're looking at. So if we were to rewrite this, 8x cubed plus 13x divided by x squared plus 2 squared. And if we rewrite by substituting values for A, B, C, and D, we get 8x plus 0 over x squared plus 2 plus -3x plus 0 over x squared plus 2 quantity squared. So if we kind of clean this up and give a final answer, you have 8x cubed plus 13x over x squared plus 2 quantity squared. And I'm going to just get rid of the zeros. So 8x over x squared plus 2 plus -3x over x squared plus 2 squared. Now, a lot of times we do write that as plus -3x. Actually, I should put the box around the whole thing. It does actually often get written like that, but being able to distinguish that you could write it like this, or you could write that last part as just negative out front, 3x, this is squared, x squared plus 2 squared would be okay as well. So it's having the ability to write it in either format. I'm okay with either because they mean exactly the same thing.